Joe travelled back to the 80s, to the movies he fondly recalled, with Annie and Tom Cruise and Sly and Bruce Willis before he went bald. Back when the movies were simple and the plots had no deep commentary, just some hero with biceps and witty one-liners shooting all he could see.
Then all some steamed Bennett.
But I guess the grass is greener when you're wearing those rose-tinted shades. But while he's stuck in the 80s, John will take his movie lemons and give you lemonade. So sit back and relax, just sit back wherever you are, for the movie reviews and the science bits too. On Shitcase Cinema, on the Shitcase Cinema, oh it's the Shitcase Cinema.
I didn't kill anybody. There's something on this ship. Bullshit.
Okay, let's play a little game and see if you can guess what the movie is. I'll even show you some images to aid you in this task. It's set at sea, the main guy ends up falling in love with the main lady, and there's an evil monster on board the ship. Have you guessed what it is yet? Yes, it's Deep Rising. Well done. The movie starts out with this guy called Finnegan. He's taken a group of bad guys out into the middle of the ocean, and he doesn't ask why because they pay him lots of cash.
What kind of life philosophy is that, man?
Things start to go wrong soon though when Finnegan's engine man Joey, kind of a name is that anyway? That's a name you give to your pet budgie. I know because I had one. Finds some torpedoes in the cargo area and they kick the shit out of him. Yes, that's Kano there from the Mortal Kombat movies, getting a few of his special moves in. Anyway, also out in the middle of nowhere there happens to be a huge fake looking cruise ship. Everyone's having a great time listening to elevator music, but then somebody thinks it's a grand idea to blast out Celine Dion and people instantly try to reenact Titanic by jumping overboard. Yes, it is true, Celine Dion can sing and kill at the same time. So, Finnegan is told rather frankly,
We'll take over from here.
and they all board the cruise ship to find it entirely deserted. It's kind of reminiscent of Virus in a way. Eventually they locate some survivors who obviously had emergency earplugs on them to block out Celine Dion, but they're shot to shit for no logical reason whatsoever. Well, unless you count the guy getting axed in the head as a logical reason, which I've always found absolutely hilarious, but what the hell. Inside the small room are the captain and the ship's owner, who looks a little bit like Kurt Russell, so from now on, he's Kurt fucking Russell. Kano decides to walk down a flooded corridor on his own, which is what anyone would naturally do when an entire ship is deserted and you hear strange noises lingering in the dark. Oh my god! Oh boy, it's just some cables that tried to kill him. Killer Cables, that's a new one. Unless you've seen Virus. So, Kano walks on even further and eventually dies. So, from now on it's just a question of how many people will survive. Saying silly things such as,
There's nothing down here but you and me.
is obviously like signing your own death wish, so that's another goon ticked off the list. Break this up with a random scene involving a peanut.
Peanut. Peanut. Peanut. Okay, peanut.
It's like some completely retarded and totally irrelevant intermission scene. And there's another one gone, and it's becoming awfully predictable by now. Who's she and what's she holding a shoe in her hand for? Oh yeah, I forgot about her. She's a thief who gets locked in the ship's brig. She twats this guy, Joey, with the shoe, and when she sets her eyes on Finnegan, you half expect to hear, Hey, no more of that soppy shit please. The characters try to discover what has happened, which also will help us to understand what is going on, but the captain simply says, I don't know.
I don't know, how do I know? Never seen anything like it before.
Gee whiz, thanks for illuminating the incoherent plot for me. Let's ask somebody else.
Your turn.
But just as he's about to tell us what's going on, the elevator decides to take a fall.
Jesus Christ!
Good God, it's Billy!
I always thought he used to say, good God, it's me, which wouldn't make any sense whatsoever, but hey ho. Eventually, Kurt fucking Russell explains to us what is going on. It's about time. He's naturally an expert on the entire subject of these monsters. Either that or he's been taking a sneak peek at the script.
What the hell is that?
We get a few more deaths, one of which is utterly pathetic. And does this one look like a carbon copy of a death scene from Alien Resurrection to anyone else?
Yes!
So, what could possibly happen next to surprise us? Go on, just take a guess.
What the bloody hell is going on?
Another death scene, obviously. You'd think they'd quit while they're ahead and leave the ship, but no, they go back searching the corridors and talking crap. It's bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
Yes it is, we don't know what the hell is going on. So, after escaping the tentacles of the monster for the 974th time in the movie, the surviving predictable few enter a large room which is filled with what is left of the ship's passengers and crew. Has anyone seen The Graveyard Shift? Well, it reminds me of that for some reason. The bad guy leader is being eaten alive by the monster, and so he decides to blow his brains out. Now, I must warn you, this scene is very gory and graphic, so be warned. Oh, very funny. That's real humour.
Son of a bitch!
Kurt Russell decides to jump 40 feet onto Finnegan's ship so that he can escape. Go on, do it, break a leg. Oops! That was real bad humour on my part.
Funny.
Yeah, I know, thanks. Finnegan gets into a one-man battle with the monster in which it gives him a few uppercuts with its tentacles, so he shoots it in the eye. He escapes with Jean Grey. Did anyone ever watch those X-Men cartoons where Wolverine was always going, Jean? Totally irrelevant, but there you go. Jean! He escapes with Jean Grey just before the ship blows up because dumbass Kurt Russell couldn't see where he was going and he sailed into the ship with a torpedo sticking out of the front. Pretty lame, I know, but hey ho. So, who ended up living in the end? Ah yes, obviously. So, you're stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman. What more could you ask for?
Can you get me a cold beer?
You know, that would be great, but how about a fucking hobo getting washed up on the beach? Perfection.
This is not good.
I've always liked Deep Rising, it's completely tongue-in-cheek, it's got a few amusing gruesome deaths in there, plenty of witty one-liners, and it's simply entertaining dumb fun.
Are you insane?
I should mention that the opening scene tells us that over the centuries numerous ships have gone missing, and their disappearances are a complete mystery. But thanks to Deep Rising, we now know that their disappearance is the result of a giant tentacled sea monster. How amazing is that?
Hey,
7.5 out of 10.